YouTube, man, what's going on, man? Today I got a tutorial for y'all. So somebody from TikTok, they asked me about Serato Sampler and like just trying to get it down pat, trying to understand it. And that's something I use for basically all my samples, unless I'm sampling on my MPC Key 37. So today I figured I'd show y'all how I sample with it, give a little detail like tutorial, and I'm gonna show y'all what a beat I already made. If y'all watch all my videos on my channel, y'all have seen this beat. It's actually, I got the song out with it, called Masterpiece by Augie 3. But yeah, I mean, ain't too much to really talk about. We about to do a tutorial, so let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, bet. So I got Serato pulled up right here. So a few things, man. So for Serato, you honestly don't need a MIDI keyboard. I use the MPC Key 37 as my MIDI, and then I do the drums inside of the MPC. But like, you can use any MIDI, or you can just click it in. If I don't have a MIDI with me, I'm out on the go, I'll just click it in. So basically, when you load up Serato, this is how it looks. I'm gonna load up a new one real quick. Basically, what you're gonna do is load up an audio file like this. You're gonna go wherever the audio file is, and you're gonna pull up whatever you're trying to sample. So once you load that in, it's gonna show up like this. So I already have 3 chops in here, but of course, like when you do it, you're not gonna have any chops. So basically, this first square right here, that's gonna be your like root note, which is like, on mine it shows up as C5, but middle C, it just depends on how you, whatever you call your root note. So this is triggered to that. Inside of Serato, you got some options. So right here, y'all see I follow my mouse. Right here, you can have it so that when you press it and let go, it like stops. Or you can press it and it'll keep going if you press the other button. Also, it has mono, where if you press one and then you press another one, like it'll only play once at a time, like one like chop at a time. But if you do poly, which is like multiple, then you could do 1, 2, 3, and like just keep stacking them up like that, which I rarely use. So then you have these right here. So this is for your vocals on whatever your sample is. Like I said, it's a sampler, so you're gonna be able to like chop it up. Like if you want to take vocals out, if you want to take piano out, bass guitar, guitar, but mainly bass guitar, or if you want to take like the drums, percussions out. So that's what each of these do. Like you can hear it right here. If I want to take out the drums, I could do it like this. Now, just to let you know, when you do take out stuff like this, you do lose some like other sounds. Like it's not gonna be perfect. Like you're subtracting drums from a track that they don't have the multi-track. So sometimes, I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I feel like you lose the feeling when you take out the drums, but sometimes it's necessary. Also, you're gonna add your own instrument, so it's just, it depends how you feel, depends like what vibe it gives. Also, when you take one of these out, for the most part, it usually will like it'll load up a little bit, so it's not gonna just do it right away. It's just gotta like process it. So moving on to the next button, you have your key right here. So this, I didn't do anything with this sample right here. It's in C minor. It has the title of the song. This song is called River Nile. It has the BPM. The BPM for this was set at 136.02. Usually I'll round up or down depending on what the decimal is. I don't know why I did 137. Maybe it just lined up better, I'm not sure, but that's just what I had for this beat. And what you can do is you can sync it so that it moves with your FL. You see how it's moving up here and right here. Or you could put it on 137 and unsync it, and then you could change this and it won't change what you have in FL. So that's like cool. Like sometimes if you have like a real slow sample, you don't want to sync it because the sample might be like 80 BPM, but you might want to like, you know, like do it double time. So bring it up to 160 so you can do your drums like that. And you can like do like half time right here, or it'll automatically cut it in half, or like double time. I'm not sure what this I don't think I've ever messed with this little part right here. It looks like glasses, but yeah. So then down here, these are like your pads, your keys. It doesn't, I don't know what these letters are. Maybe that's if you connect it to like your keyboard, like where you can type in to play. I've never tried it like that. I always use my MIDI or just click it in. But what I do know is these go in order. So this is going to be your C, then it's going to be your C sharp, then D, D sharp, E, F, and like kind of like just goes on like that. Like if I press the third note up from the root C, it's gonna press this third one right here. So, oh, I did not mean to do that. All right, so like I said, these are like your pads, I guess you can say. I'm used to MPC, so I'm gonna just call them pads. So these are your virtual pads. So for each pad, you can do a couple things. This is my first chop I got right here. Now with this chop, I went ahead and like I said, it's linked to the root note C, middle C. So I went ahead and just drew out C for 8 bars. And like when I press like stop and play, it plays it out. So with this, you got your levels. You can add like a filter if you want. So if you want to like take out like a bunch of the lows, or if you want to take out a bunch of the highs, if you want to turn it up really loud, or if you want to quiet it down. For attack and release, I'm not gonna lie, I ain't gonna really get into it because I've never really used it. Also, you got reverse. That's if you want to really get real, like, real freaky with your beat. I don't know. Reverse be sounding a little crazy sometimes, but I'm sure there's people out here that do it. I don't judge. And then if you want to change like a specific key, like let's say you like this, but you like, I want to have it in like a higher, like an octave up, you can raise it 12. This just goes by semitones. That sounds crazy, but yeah, you can change that. Also your time stretch. Now I use this a whole lot because I ain't gonna lie, with certain samples, they don't add up. They don't line up. A lot of older songs, they weren't like using software like this. Some of them was like live instruments, or like even if they were using this, they were on a metronome, but they weren't going and quantizing everything. So not everything's gonna line up. So you might have one part of the song that lines up, another part that just feels a little bit behind, but instead of creating a whole nother Serato sampler and cloning it, you can just create another, or like I said, you can have this second chop right here. And then you can go ahead and like time stretch it. And you might want to slow it down, and you could just play around like that. So the question I got was like, he was having trouble, I think his name was Ball Out. If I got your name wrong, I'm sorry, bro. I ain't really look at the name before I started this. But he was saying he was having trouble kind of like trying to line it up. So everybody sample a little different. For me, sometimes stuff has drums and you can try to line like, you could try to like turn your metronome on in FL Studios and line it up with the drums. I think that's what I did for this, but sometimes you don't have it and you just kind of gotta get the feeling for real. Everybody sample a little different. But to answer his question, for this song, I turned on my metronome, and like I said, the first chop I got was right when the song started. For Serato, it might be a way to like what's the word? Like snap it, but I don't know. I've never got it to snap. So usually what I have to do, press these plus and minus. This is like zoom out and zoom in. And I'll just bring this marker. This marker is what my first chop is. And I'll just try to line it up to wherever it starts. And then I'll play it from there. So this is with the drums on. I'll just try to line it up to the metronome. So this is no metronome. Like the clap is hitting on the 3 like usual. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'll turn my metronome on and see if it like lines up. So it's like lined up. Not every time it does that, and that's where you gotta kind of play with the time stretch. Like I'm just gonna turn it on like drastically and see how like Now it's all out of key, but let's say it wasn't lining up. That might be what you need to do, is like play with the time stretch and like so it can like fit actually. So that's what you do most of the time when it doesn't line up and you have drums. Now if you don't have drums, it's really just a feeling type of thing. Sometimes I know if something doesn't have drums and it just feel like can't line up, I'll just create like a hi-hat track and I'll just put that in, because sometimes it just gives you more like sense of rhythm instead of just the metronome by itself. So I didn't end up doing that for this song, but yeah, so I'm gonna show y'all how like I personally line up my songs when I'm using Serato. So for this, like I said, this is my first chop right here. Once I knew it was lined up, also I took out the drums for it. Like I was saying earlier, you could. Sounds good with the metronome. So usually what I'll do after that, I'll go ahead and clone it. So all you do to clone is you just right click Serato, press clone, and then that's where you get your second chop from. So I clone this right here, I'll open it up. And this is my second chop, which is C sharp. Like I said, the second pad, virtual pad, whatever you want to call it, it's gonna be the second one from the root note. So C sharp. And if you hit this, playing the same exact thing. So for this, I took the drums off as well. And I like the drums for it, but I just didn't want them, man. I like want to do my own thing for real. So I took the drums off, and like I said, I dragged it out for 8 bars. Most of the loops are like 8 bars, 16 bars. Some old school might be like 12 or 4. It loops perfectly. And I think the last chop I did, I wanted to have like a I guess you can call it like a little bridge or something like that. So I went ahead and did a third chop. And I think all I did for this was I left the drums on for it. So it's that first chop again. And this was either gonna be like my outro, intro, or bridge. Just, I mean, it has the drums on it. Like, it got character for real, so. And yeah, bro, that's pretty much how, if y'all want to get Serato Sampler, how you use it. I ain't gonna lie, I mess with it. I mean, using my MPC, you can't see it, but it's right underneath where my hands are. Using that to sample versus using this, I like both ways for real. I started off with Serato. I got the MPC later, so I still use Serato heavy. I know I think it was $100 when I got it, and it actually didn't even have the like where you can take out the vocals and all that. That came later. It was a free upgrade too, so I mean, this video ain't sponsored or nothing. I mean, my channel's small, but hey, Serato, they just did their thing with this, so I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, like if you want a new way to sample and you just want something a little easier, straightforward, I would definitely recommend it. I definitely like it. And like I said, I think MPC using hardware is always gonna be like the best feeling for sampling. But like this is like, you can use this with a MIDI and you still get that same exact feeling, because you can connect these to pads, because most MIDIs have pads, or even the keyboard. Like I said, I use it on the keyboard sometimes. And it's the same thing as like this keyboard right here on the side. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll let y'all hear the beat. I mean, if you haven't watched the other video, cool little beat. Like I said, this actually is a song. It's called Masterpiece by Augie 3. Me and him, I was able to hop on this album and get that placement. And yeah, man, if y'all made it this far, man, appreciate y'all for watching. This is the beat, man. Go check out Serato if you want to, man. They might have a free trial too. I'm not sure. I ain't looked into Serato for a minute, but if they do, it would definitely be worth checking out. So yeah, here's the beat.
Charles.
Here's that other part right here. I appreciate y'all for watching.